Hi guys. Okay. There's how I kept mentioning the whole Ted Bundy thing. Like there's a lot more similarities that have to do with Ted Bundy than I realized. Like for instance, when I was talking about the sorority thing, I decided to watch the Ted Bundy movie today. It's like really old movie. I did my own reading on him on Patreon, but there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know as factual information. I think he tried to kill all of them. He also went at night when they were sleeping. And there was, he had to go upstairs to get to one of them. Or to get to a couple of them. So I think they were also at a bar prior, and he saw them there prior. So I think that's the other similarities of the Ted Bundy thing, besides the fact that he also has brown hair and blue eyes, which is what I keep picking up. And he also went to school there, which is a possibility. And I think the whole thing of me getting, older earlier, I think he felt older in the beginning, but as the reading went on, he got younger for me. And I don't know why that is. Sometimes it's the energy. Sometimes, ages are kind of hard sometimes, because sometimes people can feel older depending on what they do or how they act. And sometimes they can feel younger. It's an energy thing, right? So that's why I say ages are kind of hard to tell sometimes. So I'm hoping that what I found out and what I know so far is not going to hinder what I get tonight. I will try my best to keep my own thoughts out of it. It's very hard to do that. Violet, today, get past, present, and future. Things can be symbolic or multiple meanings. Spirit will sometimes use my references, experiences, or how I relate to something to try to explain what they are trying to say. I can get things surrounding the case. I can get things surrounding the perp. I can get things surrounding people. So not everything that I get is going to be, not everything I get is going to be like related directly to the person or to the murder or whatever. Okay. Because I can get things surrounding it. All right. So keep that in mind. I wasn't picking up Ted Bundy. No, they give me references to other cases and things. They are referencing other cases because, for one, I feel like he's similar looks. I feel like he's got blue eyes, and brown hair, because the girls showed me blue eyes for a very long time. The last night was one of the last things they showed me, and they continued to show it to me. So I feel very strongly he has blue eyes. And I think that there's a lot of similarities to Ted Bundy. It's very weird, I know, but the references of, again, Ted Bundy went into a frat house. This is kind of considered that. Four victims at night when they're sleeping. You understand the reference here, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean he's a serial killer, but I feel like he has serial killer tendencies, okay? He could have, like a spree killer for that night, but it's kind of weird that you do that your first time, although who knows. So again, people have said things and they've sent things to me, and I'm going to try to put that aside and put my own thoughts aside, because it's very hard to do that, especially after what I've been feeling today. So again, keep in mind that things come in surrounding the case. Not everything is going to connect directly to that night. There will be things around him that surround his friends, that surround, I think with Ted Bundy, the two alive in the, because, 1 second, god dang it. Yeah, the door was locked. So, and I think those four were kind of they were the target anyways, for whatever reason. Okay. Oh, also, like I said, Ted Bundy, he met them at a bar the night, and he followed them home and watched them. So that's something else that's kind of interesting. So it's very similar. All right. Spirit will relate similar cases to me. For whatever reason, there's a lot of similarities, and it's been kind of like, holy crap, I didn't even realize all the similarities until today. So the reason why it was referenced was probably for that. Spirit likes to reference cases to me. They just do. And it's to get me to understand probably more about the psychology of the person, more about the crime, whatever it may be. I do bring on Vanished and Forgotten, and it's to help boost my own intuition. It's to help keep me going. Like I have a sitter there that I'm not just talking to myself. Okay. So that's what it's for, regardless of if she validates things or not. All right. So please, I don't want to hear any bitching about it. It's the way that I feel that I work the best, and she helps me out. So I do have to say that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. These are not in any way factual and not in any way factual information. This is all psychic medium impressions. Viewer discretion will be advised, because I don't know. I mean, I mostly talked about it last time, but we probably will get into some more stuff tonight. And this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. If anybody would clarify some things that maybe I had questions on. Like I said, I'm not really sure that the age is correct on what in the beginning, because it was weird. It was like he came in older. I felt him older, but then as I went along, he felt younger. It was the weirdest thing. I've never really felt anything like that. Zook, have anything you want to say? I am not going to be watching the chat as I do this, okay? Because I don't want to know any information, so I won't be watching the chat. Could put what I've heard into this reading. That's why I like to go into readings blind. But once information starts coming out, it makes the readings harder, in case people don't realize. It's hard to tell the difference between your own mind and what's coming in. So thank you, Diane. I don't know. Like I said, it's energy feeling. So if someone does things that makes them feel older, or they just come across as older, like that's why they would feel older. But it was weird because like he started to feel younger as time went on. I've never had that happen before. Ages are really hard because you're kind of feeling the energy, and sometimes people look older than they are or look younger than they are. And I'm going off of a vision here, so it's not like it's anything that's really, it's not clear like I'm watching a TV. It's kind of clear like a vision, but it's very like kind of it's not as clear as I would like it sometimes. Let's just say that. And that can be me, that can be them. That's just, we're all kind of gifted differently. So sometimes things aren't as clear as I would like. What their soul contracts, life lessons, all that are. I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird. I don't know why I felt he was older in the beginning. So I do want to say that, because as time has went on, I felt like he's actually younger and probably somebody that they want.
Hi.
Hi guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring up everybody's. Maybe I'll try to focus on Kylie tonight, or Kaylee. Is her name Kaylee or Kaylee?
Kaylee. Yeah.
Kaylee.
Yeah.
I got corrected when I said Kylie. It was almost like Spirit said, nope, it's Kaylee.
Yeah.
So used to the other Kylie. I never mean to butcher names. I'm sorry. So blonde hair, brown eyes.
Brown hair was Xena?
No, I'm talking about blonde hair, brown eyes, because they both have blonde hair, but one has blue eyes and one has brown eyes. And I focused on blonde hair, blue eyes last time, which I'm thinking is Madison. I'm thinking that one's Madison. You guys can correct me if I'm right in here. And then I think the other one is, I'm just gonna call her K, is brown eyes. She's got brown eyes, I think. I hope, because I focused on blue eyes last night. I'm gonna try to focus on her tonight. Okay, that's the only way I can tell them apart. If you guys haven't watched the first reading, please go back on that. I feel like there's a lot of good information that came in there. If I'm repetitive with stuff tonight, it's because they repeat it. And remember, it's how I perceive information. So I can always misperceive things. I can always perceive things wrong. I can always misunderstand things. So keep that in mind too, which might be what, like, I was misunderstanding, because I think they might have known him better than I thought they did. I think she's gonna start off with him coming in the house for some reason.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna start off with the hard stuff first, unfortunately. It's weird, and I don't know if he was actually wearing all black or something like that, but that could be symbolic for someone that's, breaking into a house and how I see them. But I always see that all day I keep seeing this person in black.
Okay.
With maybe even a ski mask. I know that sounds like really weird. And I'm not saying that they had that, but it's just, I feel like maybe they didn't just walk down this. I don't know. Maybe they thought they were going to be seen by someone. They didn't want their face seen. It's kind of a weird thing because I don't feel. It's weird. It's like I'm sitting and watching and waiting. Okay, there's a reference to. I feel like I'm out that night with the person that's involved. I for some reason I feel like watching. Okay, sitting and having a drink and watching, like that's how it comes across. Okay. For some reason I feel like anger towards specifically the blondes, not necessarily the other two. I think they were just because they're friends with the blondes, because they're in the house, like just it's almost like the two blondes were the target because maybe it comes across as that they felt they were better than everybody else. This person feels less than. He's very insecure, and I feel like that they've blown him off. But there's a history of feeling blown off with them. So I mean, I don't know if I just feel like a lot of anger or something, you know? And I feel like this person has a tendency of getting angry really easily. Like it's not something that doesn't it's not something that is like new for him. There's some kind of crush though. Like again, it feels like I've got a crush on this girl and she doesn't like me back, or she doesn't reciprocate feelings. I feel like I'm being ignored, or I feel like she looks down on me. There's that kind of feeling
Right.
that I kind of can't let go of. And even like my scribbles here are harder than normal. Usually I scribble very lightly, but they're literally an angry scribble that I'm scribbling now, that I'm feeling his anger. This feels he feels very angry to me, and obviously he was, to have to do something like this and to do it the way that he did it. So it's weird because I do feel like, again, okay, so there's something about not knowing that side of him before. Because like before in the other reading, I kind of felt like they knew him, but they didn't know him that well. And I think that comes across as maybe they didn't know him, like this side of him, like they knew him and whatever, but it wasn't like I'm your best friend kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that kind of feeling, but I feel like I feel like he'd been in the house. I feel like he knew the layout. I feel like he's got those serial killer tendencies. Like he really enjoyed this. I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know if he'll ever do it again. I think probably if he were to feel this anger and feel this way again, like I feel like he's got that like rage inside of him.
Yeah.
In after watching Ted Bundy today, it kind of reminds me of like that. Like the girls, he felt like they thought less of him, and he was very insecure. And so that's kind of like the feeling that I get with him. And what's weird is I think somehow like I'm trying to see what he did with the dog, because I think it's really weird the dog didn't bark. I've been thinking about that all day, and it's one of those things like the dog had to have known him if nobody heard the dog barking, because if you're attacking somebody, you're getting attacked, or your owner's being attacked, you know what I mean? Hold on 1 second, guys. It's weird. I'm trying to see it's almost like I see him put the dog in the bathroom, but still the dog I feel would bark if he didn't know him, or if he felt like there was some kind of danger. There's some kind of, I'm putting him in somewhere, because I hear putting the dog in there and shutting the door. But I'm even wondering if somehow he like somehow gave the dog something to mellow out. I don't, that's not clear, but I do feel like he put him somewhere else, or their dog is somewhere else, and I don't really know why, because I feel like I don't know, the dog is somewhere else. I don't understand that that vision. And again, that might be the dog I was seeing, but I'm not sure. Like I said, it wasn't as clear as I like. I just know I saw like the brown color. Uh-oh. So I feel like he wore I keep feeling like he wore gloves or something like that. Like that came in the last reading. They feel like thicker gloves though.
Yeah.
It's almost like I see a hand go over my mouth.
Oh.
And it's weird when I see the hand go over my mouth. It's not. It looks like a gloved hand. Which anybody that did this would be stupid if they didn't wear gloves.
Right.
So I know that seems obvious, but she's just not as, for some reason, she's not as strong as the other one, and I don't really know why. It seems like Madison's stronger for some reason. Like, that's why I really connected to it. Let me try. Because I'm getting a headache. And I don't know if you covered all of their mouths and kind of attacked them the same way, or because there's kind of that feeling of when Ted Bundy kind of attacked his victims, he like hit him in the head sometimes. I kind of get that feeling with my head hurting. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Do I feel that there was more than one person? No, I don't, which is, it's odd, because you wouldn't think like one person can handle all this, but I feel like he knew where to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a stranger in the house not knowing what rooms to go into. It's almost like he knew what rooms to go into. He knew the layout of the house. He knew what door to come in. Which that was all discussed kind of in the first reading. And I'm not really sure why I'm being taken back into but I've seen kind of visions in my head all day of like him going into the room, covering the mouth. I don't know which one it is, but the eyes open and they kind of look scared.
Yeah.
You know, and then the knife is to the throat and it's like don't make a sound kind of thing. And that might be just one person that woke up and tried to fight back. But the other ones, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that happened with all of them, but they're, you know, it's a feeling I get with at least one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the others, I feel like it was like just like a cowardly attack, you know, doing it while they're sleeping. And there's a lot of anger with this. So whatever happened that night really ticked him off.
Yeah.
Whatever was said or done, or whatever was said or done ticked him off. But I get this, my stomach's starting to cramp for some reason. I get this, still get like a lurking feeling, like a lurking, obsessive, stalkerish kind of feeling vibe that comes in.
Right.
There's a reference to, I don't know who he took a class with, but I feel that at one point there was a class taken with someone because I see them sitting in the back of the room.
Okay.
And that's another thing I saw today. See, I've been getting visions on and off all day, and you know, I saw him sitting like towards the back in somebody's class. I don't know who it is. But again, like the last reading said, I feel super like this person feels like they live really close. They did not have to go far at all.
Right.
They live really stinking close. And what's weird is I know neighbor came in last reading. And that's how it feels. Now neighbor can be, you know, wherever. But it just feels like it's super like right there.
Yeah.
And there's also a reference to I don't know, this guy feels like a like a horror movie freak that came in last time. Like he's really into the horror movies and the serial killers and like the really dark stuff, but I don't know if really anybody knows that about him.
Okay.
He also, I feel like, has more knives than just that one. And again, I get that, you know, a lot of the stuff's being repeated from the first reading because I feel like it's important. The peeping in windows.
Okay.
And I don't know if anybody ever seen him do that or what, but I wonder if they show me him in all black because I remember the last reading, the security guard thing came up, and we were wondering why that came up, and then we found out that security guards, they were told about someone in all black running around with a knife, and I'm wondering if it's connected because I'm seeing him in all black now, and I'm wondering if that's what the connection is. It's just kind of weird how that, that connection's coming in.
Yeah.
And if it is the same person, obviously he would have that stuff. But it's like I said, I get the word personal. Like this is, I mean, I know it's obvious that it's personal, but they're just reiterating. I can't get away from the brown hair, blue eyes. But it's like a light brown. It's not like a really dark brown. I don't know. There's a reference to, I get the word geeky and annoying.
Okay.
Like they thought maybe he was a little geeky and a little annoying. Now that I know names, I'm like, I don't want to. He had, I get that reference to like being around him that night or being out that night, or that reference is there of being out with him that night.
Okay.
I hear the word odd, like he's an odd person. He's an odd person. They're really adamant about the blue eyes, though. It's kind of. I remember the last reading, it was something that they showed me over and over and over, and I like couldn't let it go. And it's
Right.
kind of like the same thing.
Okay.
I seriously do not feel like he had to go far.
Okay.
Like he's not running down the street. He didn't take a
Right.
car. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm right there.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's what came in the first reading very strongly.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it was a neighbor and someone really close. Like I kept saying, I feel like he lives really close. Really, really freaking close. I don't know why I know Ethan is in sports and stuff, but he showed me a football being thrown and I don't really know what that reference is. There's a reference to like fantasizing about this.
Okay.
Like having dark fantasies about it. I mean, there's also a reference to the sorority, and I don't know if that's. My stomach is like hurting really bad now all of a sudden. I don't know if that's like he's a part of the sorority or he was just like he's in a sorority. Like I don't know where that comes in at, or was going to be, or like there's a past of that. Like that kind of comes in. But he's throwing a football at me. Ethan is. So I know it was baseball last time. I don't know if that has to do with him or the person because I'm trying to get more on the person. know. It seriously feels like there's a reference to smoking weed, but I don't know who that is. I don't know if it's the other guy or what. And today I've been getting needles all day, but I don't know if it's like someone's diabetic or if it's a different kind of needle, like steroids, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know exactly what kind of medication it is, or like what kind of, I usually get that for some type of drug.
Right.
I don't know really what kind it is, because that's one thing that's been coming in all day today. And it's weird, like I hear the word baby face, like this kid, like this person, like kind of had a baby face, which was weird because when I saw him the first time, I saw him more in the shadows, and so he like looked older. I don't know if it was because of what he was wearing or whatever, and he felt older, but it's a reference to smoking too, like that came in before too, so I don't I don't know. It's again this. The personality comes across as, I can be this nice kind of person, and then I can be this really dark person. Like there's two sides of this person, and I don't think that everybody's seen it, but I think some people have seen it. But again, he comes across as kind of geeky. Like, but he kind of reminds me. I'm getting the reference of someone that would be like a school shooter.
Oh.
Okay, so, you know how they are. They're like they kind of feel less than,
Yeah.
and they want to get back at people. Like that's kind of what this. That's the reference that Spirit is using to kind of, I guess, explain like his personality.
Right.
But at the same time, like I don't. It's not something you would ever like. If you looked at this person, you would never think he would do something like this.
Okay.
Although I feel like an outdoorsy feel to him.
Okay.
I wonder if he's ever shot a bow and arrow for hunting, because I get a bow and arrow. And there's something about like I said, like he has this fascination with knives and swords and things like that. Like that came in before, but I'm
Right.
specifically getting a bow and arrow, not necessarily gun shooting, but bow and arrow shooting. And so I don't really know why I'm getting that. There's something that just keeps coming in, and I'm just gonna say it, and I hope it's coming to me, not from me. But I keep getting a J.
Okay.
You know what's weird?
Hmm.
I have to tell you something when this live is over that I'm just realizing I have got an A last reading.
You got a J too.
Well, yeah, we were talking about it in regards to Delphi, that J kept coming in, which it may interconnect, but because they did happen on the 13th, both of them, just different months.
Yep.
Which
Oh
you know
yeah.
could be something of weird interconnect, and everything's happening with Delphi right now too, so that could be a weird interconnect. But I didn't even realize that until right now, that I got an A yesterday, and what we've been talking about today.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I've been sitting here. I'm like, is that coming to me or from me, or, and they've even said a name, but I don't want to say it because again, I don't know if it's coming to me or from me, if it's just a connection, what it is.
So could you be getting sorority because the couple were actually at a sorority party
It's
that night
possible.
before?
It's possible, but I don't know if it's. I don't know if it's that, because I was actually getting it the first time I did the reading, but I didn't really get it because I was like questioning it. But I don't know if it's actually because those two were at the sorority, or if there's somebody that is part of the sorority or trying to get into the sorority or something like that. Like there's that kind of feeling, or maybe they wanted to be in the sorority.
True.
There's that kind of feeling with it.
Okay.
So that was looking at Ethan, then I got all that stuff. I'm trying to get each one of them to see if I can get more information and see who's the strongest. So I'm back with Madison now because she gave me a lot of information last time. And again, you guys, if I'm repeating stuff, and you're like, oh, it was already said. Well, I said it in the first reading. It's just being reiterated. Okay.
Yep.
Because they gave me a lot of information last time, and there's only so much that they're going to give me, whether it be my fault or just not the time for it. Unfortunately, things happen in the timing they're supposed to happen. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah.
And names can be, like I said, interconnects can happen, so they might not even fit this case, or they can be connections to someone. I keep getting like a Brian or something like that.
Okay.
And there's a reference to a blue cap, like a blue baseball cap.
Okay.
So I don't know if he wore a blue baseball cap or what. It kind of feels like it might be a school cap, but I'm not sure about that. I know that the school colors are like blue and gold, which is, I don't know if that's why I got blue. I noticed that their house is next to a blue house.
Yep.
So it might just be to validate their house, but things can have multiple meanings. So, I mean, I don't really know, but it comes across as like a darker kind of blue, a darker blue, like baseball cap. And
Okay.
it's weird. They show me him flipping it. So I think he wears it both ways.
Okay.
In, I don't know, you guys, it feels like this was not only personal and I'm very ticked off, but with a knife, there's a sexual gratification that comes with it. With people like this.
That's gross.
Because it's the motion of it, up and down kind of thing. And that kind of feels like where this came from a little bit. Like there was an attraction here. I get specifically to the blonde or the blondes. Like they really feel like the targets for whatever reason. And I don't know why the other ones, maybe they looked at them wrong. Maybe, you know what I mean? There's something else there. But I feel like the blondes were really, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was, I don't know, because they were on the third floor, right?
Yeah.
Which is my 3 again, which is weird that I got 3. It happened between 3 and 4. There's my third floor. That might be another reference, that they were kind of the intended targets.
Right.
And I think because they maybe thought they were snobby, or like I said, like they look down on him and they're too pretty for him. I get like that feeling. And I just wonder, like the stomach was, because my stomach's hurting really bad, and I think it might relate. I think it might relate to,
I wouldn't doubt it.
being stabbed in the stomach, because I also, my chest hurts. Like I get a reference to my neck. There's like everything, and that all came in the first reading. Before any of this came out, but it's just like they're reiterating that. It's almost like the guy. went into like robot mode. Like I'm not thinking, I'm just doing.
Okay.
And but at the same time very stealth. I'm very stealth. Um I can't get over that he was like wearing black or something though.
Could be possible.
Yeah. Um and it's like weird, like I'm trying to see about the knife because I feel like he washed it like really good.
Yeah.
But again, I get that I buried it somewhere like by a tree and um like in the back of somewhere, the back of a house, the back of somewhere. Um it's really kind of weird and I don't really understand that vision and I hope I'm understanding it right. But it it kind of is coming across like I washed it and then I got rid of it, which kind of doesn't make sense.
No.
It kind of doesn't make sense. Like, why would you? I mean, I don't know. This is a little OCD, or he thinks if they find it, like, they're not going to find anything on it. Like, I don't get. Like, he definitely doesn't want anybody to find or know that he has that.
Right.
But it's weird. Like, I didn't see him wash it off before, but this time I'm seeing him wash it off. So that's kind of odd. That's kind of
Yeah.
odd to me. I don't really understand that. Um, and the other thing that's weird is I feel like I go out the back. I feel like it went a back way, not a front way.
Yeah.
I don't know if the back way, like if there's another way to get to their house that's more hidden or like in between woods or trees or something like that, because there's a reference to some kind of trees or woods or some kind of way that I'm hidden as I move in the dark kind of thing. Um
Okay. Well, their backyard was wooden or woody.
okay. I just can't get over that I feel like he lives like super close to them, which I mean, I'm sure they live around a lot of students, but they live off campus.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're not the only ones that lived off campus, you know what I mean?
Right.
Um so when that 45 came in, I took it as a age, but I'm just wondering if there's not another meaning for it.
Okay.
Because it's kind of coming in again, but I also get 7. I'm not really sure what that's about either. They're not giving me very much tonight. Weird. I get someone working at like a fast food place or something. Um,
Oh.
yeah, I don't really understand what that is. It's like a college job, back then, whenever you're in college, you have jobs like that. It feels like that kind of thing. Um, she's giving me an M. I know that's the beginning of her name though, so I just say everything I get, even if I already know what it is.
Yep.
Because I'm looking at her, so I was trying to say, well, what would M mean, but then I realized it was her name. So I'm just gonna.
Right.
Um. So there's, I don't know, one of them feels really adventurous. Um. Like I don't know if they like to travel or hike or There's some kind of like being really active and really adventurous coming in with one of them. So I don't know. And then there's another one that I don't know why they're showing me. I don't know if this is related to them or the other guy or the perp, but there's a reference to, like, I don't know why they're showing me using a calculator, so it would remind me of math or something like that. Financial thing, something. I don't really know the meaning of that, really.
So somebody commented that somebody worked at a pizzeria.
Huh,
I'm
that
not
would be that would kind of be considered fast food. It's like,
Yeah.
do they wear hats there? Because I keep getting not the hat that he was, not the hat I see him in, but this is a different hat, like maybe red or something. Like a visor or a hat. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they would wear there.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, kind of really weird how my stomach is just like, it was fine before this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. They keep taking me back to the bar.
Okay.
The two girls at the bar. So I don't know if that means that he was hanging out with him there. He was watching him from there. There's something about it.
No.
I don't know. That's kind of, I don't understand that. I mean, it kind of goes back to what I was seeing that night.
Okay.
With them just watching or whatever. Or him just watching or whatever. I don't know. I can't get over. Like, and this was the problem. The first reading I did too is like I felt like he lived really close, and I can't get
Yeah.
over that feeling. That was one thing that repeated over and over in the first reading, and it's another thing that's repeating, like he's right there.
Right. Relevance for sure.
Like literally, it's so close.
Yeah.
And that's why I heard neighbor, like literally, I don't know. I don't know, because I get like it's kind of weird. Like I get like he's a geeky odd feeling, but then he's not.
Right.
It's sociopath. But I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody knows that about him. You know, it's one of those closet ones. Like you don't know if what he's one of those people, like you
Right.
really don't know like that he would ever be capable of this, because he's really good at hiding who he is. I'm trying to get more, guys, but there's like only so much I can.
Right. Kylie was the one targeted, right? I'm just
It's one of the
wondering if she could give you
blonde
any
ones,
more.
but I feel like she was being stalked like that. I said that before that ever came out. I said that in the last reading, but I feel like that
Yeah.
maybe she didn't know who her stalker was, and I feel like it was this person. You know what I mean? Like he was like, I don't think she knew who was stalking her. I think there was weird stuff that was going on. And I think it was him all along. But I just don't think she knew who it was. So that's why the stalking obsession and everything comes in, and that he feels like she dissed him.
Okay.
And I think she may have dissed him in the past or something. I don't know. This is where we're confused about if they were ever together or not. I don't know. That's one thing we can't seem to validate if they actually were ever together or whatnot. But there is some form of rejection that he is not okay with, and jealousy that he is not okay with. And that it caused like a raging fire inside of him. That's what it feels like. And again, I feel like if he ever felt this way about someone else, he would do the same thing. If he got away with it once, he'll get away with it again. So, and it might be, you know, time before he does that, or he might do it to make it look like something else, like it wasn't just them. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's pretty smart. I don't think he's dumb. I think he's actually very smart, and I think this is where the alma mater comes in. Even if either he was in school or wasn't in school, whatever, it just kind of told me that he was in school with them, and I'm curious if they had any classes together at any point, him with anybody. It's weird. Like, I see pictures of, and I don't know again if this is symbolic, but I see pictures of like her, at least, with like a heart around it. Like, literally, he was obsessed with her.
Okay.
That is how it comes across. And for some reason, I don't know why, that Kay isn't really telling me, because when I was looking at her, I wasn't getting much other than what I said in the very beginning. But as I'm looking at Madison, she's giving me all the information. So I'm not really sure why she's being stronger and kind of like the spokesperson, like Libby is with Libby and Abby. Other than when I was looking at Ethan, he gave me the football.
Okay.
So, you know, he relates to that, I guess. And he gave me some, and he also gave me the business finance thing. So they're each giving me kind of like a piece of the puzzle, I guess. But for some reason, Madison seems to be the strongest. I'm gonna try. Is her name Xena?
Yeah, I think that's
I haven't really tried her yet. I tried her a little bit. She gives me a thumbs up. I don't know what that means. She comes across as very strong, though, like a very strong-willed person. Like, she's the fighter, and
yes, she
was something her and Ethan were very much in sync. Okay, they're the kind of, it feels like they got along very good. They're very similar with each other. They both have really good hearts. And so they both, that's why they clicked, is because of the similarities that they have in their personalities, as far as they're both like, they feel really good hearted, very genuine, very like Ethan feels very like a gentle kind of guy, like even more feminine because he's so gentle. I don't know. It's kind of weird because he plays sports, but he has like the sensitive side to him. That's how he comes across. She comes across as like, yeah, she's sensitive, but she's like a badass at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how she really was, but I feel like she had this fighter inside of her. I also feel like she got good grades, like she's super smart. She might even been into sports too. I don't know if she ever played or not, but it kind of comes in that she has that personality, like she might have played or something.
Her dad said that she had like defense wounds on her. Okay. So she did fight.
Because I think she might have woken up. She might be the one that he put. Yeah, she might be the one that he put the hand over the mouth.
Yeah, that's what I think.
She might have been the one that woke up, and that's why I was seeing that.
Yeah, Ethan just had a birthday. You got a birthday last
I did.
week.
I got birthday. Yeah, I was wondering when his birthday was.
He had a birthday. Somebody just commented.
Okay, thank you, because that validates my who just had a birthday last that just passed. It was either just passed or was coming up. So thank you for that validation. I was wondering which one it was. It's hard when you're connecting to all of them. You can't tell who's who. And I'm just trying to switch back and forth, like call each of them up to see if they'll give me more bits and pieces of the puzzle while I'm trying to validate them at the same time. And I don't know why she's rolling a dice at me. No idea what that means. I don't know if it's symbolic for something.
Okay.
I don't really understand. I don't know if she liked to read a lot. I see her with books for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know. She comes across as really smart for some reason.
Yeah.
She had a really good head on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And honestly, her and Ethan feel like soulmates to me. Like that's the kind of relationship they feel like they would have gotten married and had kids. Like that's how it comes across. They just click. They are just that click. Some of those people that get together in college and stay together, it's kind of that kind of feeling. That I feel with them. Like I don't feel like they ever really fought. Like I don't feel like they ever really had any tiffs. It doesn't come across that way. It comes across that they had a very harmonious kind of relationship. And hopefully that one day that'll be validated. But I also get soccer. So I don't know if she ever played at one point, but I know that Ethan played a lot, but I didn't be any time in their life, right? But I see she's kicking a soccer ball around. So I don't know where that comes in at. And it's weird because I feel like so the other two, Madison and I never want to say her name. I keep wanting to call her Kaylee. Okay. I'm just gonna call her Kay. Madison and Kay. They feel very like best friends, like this kind of thing. Like there's a lot of laughter, like they are like inseparable kind of feeling. So they're very cliquey in that. I mean, they hung out with these two, but they were always together. Like that's how it comes across. Like you wouldn't see one without the other, really. And they look like sisters. They almost look like twins, honestly. And that's kind of their relationship too. They were like sisters.
They've actually been friends since they were younger.
Yeah, okay, so that might be why that's coming in, is that they've been friends for a long time. They went to college together. They're living together, so it's they have that sisterly kind of feeling towards them. I don't think that anybody's been cleared, not from what they're telling me. Because I just asked and I got no. I feel like they're kind of. I'd be curious if he's not on another. No, I think he might have known where the cameras were, but there's still something about being caught on camera or someone seeing him. I don't know why, because the last reading it came in that there was a sketch or something, and now I don't know, because I see him running, but like I said, I go out the back, and so I'm wondering if a camera didn't catch him running, but maybe can't tell who he is or something. Like I think he might have known, but I think it feels like really dark for some reason. I don't know. I'd be curious if there's not a whole lot of streetlights around there or something, because for some reason it feels like super dark, not only in the house, but like I don't even really know what he's like, how he like saw to do what he did, because it feels really dark to me. And they might just be showing me like it was pretty dark outside as well. No. So I wonder if they were giving me the reason why they were giving me that security thing and all of that is because they're trying to connect the two situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're showing me him in black again, and this is really brazen. Like I was talking about Ted Bundy today. Like he was really brazen, like in what he did, and this was really brazen.
Yeah.
Like no fear of being caught. Very arrogant.
Yeah.
Thinking that you're smarter than everybody else is how it comes across. And I'm going to get away with it because I'm smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
No one's going to suspect me, which kind of confuses me with the whole record thing that came on before. I don't know where that comes in at. You know, unless he's connected to someone with a record. I don't really know where that comes in at. Or maybe he beat somebody up and we don't know about it. You know, as far as the assault, and like maybe he was involved in assault, a fight, and we are just not aware of it. I'd be curious because I feel like I'm going upstairs to live. Okay, not in that house, but wherever I live, I'm going upstairs to a second floor.
Mama.
Because I see him climbing stairs, but I'm outside. So it's not showing me climbing the stairs in the house. This is, I think, something to do with where he lives, because I am climbing like those cement stairs that are outside, like they have like the spaces in between them. You know how like the outside stairs are? I'm climbing one of those. Okay, and that's what it shows me. Like I'm climbing the staircase to the second floor.
Okay, and that's how they were.
Okay, and so like I said, not in the house, but this is where I'm going home after just doing this.
Yeah.
I also feel like he took off his shoes at some point.
Yes.
He took off his shoes because he shows me them carrying his shoes, carrying his shoes.
Oh.
And this is so there was no footprints. It's like once he got out in the yard, he took off his shoes. That's why he lives so close. And that's the first time I've seen that. I literally see him running in his socks.
Yeah.
So that's why there's no footprints past a certain point. Because I do feel there is a footprint somewhere in that. There has to be. But they're showing me him taking off his shoes and running. And then heading up. I'm curious if this person we're talking about stays on the second level. Because I can't get that out of my mind about the stairs and climbing up the stairs.
Okay.
And again, I don't know if it's... And I'm getting this while looking at Xena. So she is giving me some good information here because that's new stuff I haven't got before.
Yep.
And that's why there's no footprints after a certain point.
Right. Makes sense.
There's something about changing clothes, but I don't know if that was after, like he brought a backpack and changed clothes.
Oh, okay.
And why maybe there is not blood dripped everywhere. I mean, there is to a certain point, right? There is to a certain point, but there's not like a blood trail leading to someone's backyard or someone's back door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it feels like, and I don't know, because I feel like it feels like there's still like a blood trail, but it stopped at a certain point, and I don't know why I'm getting. I mean, I see him taking off the shoes. I don't know that. It's like I almost see him either taking clothes off or putting clothes on, or there's some kind of change or that he brought like a... It's weird. I don't know that I'm understanding this right. I don't know. Because if he knew what he was gonna do, right, then he knew that he was gonna be covered in stuff. He knew he was gonna be, and so if he knew that, I could see him bringing something to change into, so he's not seen running bloody down the street or something like that. But
yeah,
Where he changed that, I don't know, and why there would be blood outside, I don't know. That's the only thing that kind of like my mind isn't really making sense of, but I do feel like once he got outside, he took off his shoes. That is one thing that's coming in really clearly,
Right.
with that situation. Exactly where he was going. Because I'm watching him walk in the house and kind of walk around, and he knew exactly what rooms to go into and everything. I'm not understanding why Xena Ethan. That's one thing, unless he felt that they looked down on him too. Like there's a feeling of I'm superior to you guys. I'm in control now.
Makes sense.
You guys are not, like maybe he felt like they looked down on him or they were snobby to him, all of them. Because I feel like they were kind of a clique, like they all kind of hung together most of the time. And I feel like I mean it really does come across as who's the bee now?
Yeah.
I literally heard that.
Wow.
And he might have even whispered obscenities as he was killing them.
Okay.
So, because I'm getting that. I'm getting like a cuss, like I'm so ticked off, like I'm cussing and I'm like just I'm going mad at this point. But not in a loud way to where I wake anybody up. But I just wonder if because the two girls stay in the same room, or were they separate?
They had their own separate rooms,
their own separate rooms, but on the same floor.
Floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think and Xena and Ethan were on the second floor because I think they were first. Especially because it's almost like he went 2 and then 3, but it was he wanted to go in order. He wanted to save the best for last, but there's something about also quieting the male of the house.
Okay. Yeah, they were on the second floor.
And so it's like I go 2 and then I go 3. It comes across as it's like that and then down. And I don't think he had a problem with the other ones. And I think maybe he knew they kept their doors locked and he wasn't going to bother with it.
Right. So the two shared the third floor, but they're saying in chat that they were found in the same room.
Okay, so they were staying in the same room together because that's why I kept seeing them in the same room.
Yeah. They were found together.
Okay. Because that's why I was getting confused because I was seeing him in the same room. That's why I was asking if they had separate rooms, but I was seeing him in the same room. But the one thing that kind of doesn't make sense to me is like, how could he kill one without the other one waking up if they're in, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Unless he knocked one out or something. Like, I keep getting that reference to Ted where like he hit one over the head.
Yeah.
Like Ted Bundy was able to do this with 4 people. I feel like it's kind of a similar thing. Like I keep getting that reference and it's just because it's very similar, not in the manner they were killed and not the fact that all 4 of them, but all 4 were attacked. You know, and there was also an upstairs there too, but and they came from the bar like being washed, but there's something with this person was also drinking, but I don't know. I hear the word psychosis. I don't know if he went into a weird, thing that I can't seem to Like, I can't wrap my brain around this, and us normal people can't wrap our brain around this.
Yeah.
But it's almost like he literally lost it. And it's weird because the energy is matching the one we were talking about. But I don't want to say that because what if I'm wrong? What if I'm reading this completely wrong? I don't know. There's an awful lot that points that way.
Yeah.
Especially because they're adamant about the blue eyes and brown hair. And it's light brown hair. It's not dark hair, you know. Ted Bundy had blue eyes. I mean, I didn't even notice that till today. Till I watched that movie and I was like, holy crap. Okay, well, there's a Ted Bundy reference has all these meanings in this whole story. You know, he was also went to school and everything, and it's just like, wow. Did this guy idolize him or what? What's going on with this? There's so many like coincidence, similarity kind of thing.
Right.
It's kind of weird. I also get a C. I don't know what that is about. I don't know if apartments have like a letter with it or not. That's kind of what it reminds me of, the way that it's coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be curious about. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like they look at him as kind of an idiot sometimes, like immature. You know, like immature kind of little a-hole.
Right.
Is the way that I get with him. I also get swimming, but I don't know who that is. I'm not sure really which one that is. So I'm gonna go back to her now and see if I can get anything else from her, Kaylee, because I tried her in the beginning and I couldn't get very much. Well, she's hard to connect to for some reason. I'm not really sure why. You think if it was about her, she'd be more. Yeah, I mean, if you think if it was about her, she'd be more. Unless she hasn't fully transitioned yet, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
She might be going through some healing and whatnot, but that might be one reason because this is still very new. So, you know, for the information I've gotten for the last 2 is really good for it being such a new case, because I usually like to give it a while if I can, so that they can transition. And I don't like to bother them unless they come to me. I wonder if one of these somebody rode a bike. I keep getting someone riding a bicycle for some reason, and I don't know if it's one of these or or how that fits. There's a reference to riding a bicycle. Like kind of like a mountain bike or something like that, or I go biking like around the neighborhood kind of thing. I don't know, or jogging. It could just be that they're active, and I could be getting an active feeling, because I feel like there's one of them that's really active, outdoorsy, like to travel, like to hike, like to do all those kind of things.
Yep.
But I don't know, as far as like the biking and jogging, I feel like they kept themselves in shape.
So the thing that was reported in September was a biker with a knife.
Oh, interesting. So maybe they're connected. If I'm getting someone in black, the security and the bike.
And
It's
one
weird
of the
because I get the
girls
bike and they do jog, because it's coming in together. Biking, like there's a bike and then I get a jogging. So like jogging around the neighborhood. Okay, so that makes sense. Huh. I wonder which one likes to jog. So I'm looking at Kylie, Kaylee right now. I want to call her Kylie. Sorry.
Yeah.
And there was something coming through I don't even know if I should say this, Shazam, but it's what I was telling you earlier. That I kept getting, okay, so I kept getting it all day, but I don't know if it's from me or to me from spirit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I kept hearing Jack the Ripper. So again, I don't know if it's a symbolism thing, or if there's another meaning behind it, but it's something that has repeated all day with the same face I keep seeing. And it's something I can't seem to let it go.
Now maybe it'll go away now that you said it.
Well, the energy is like the same.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so like whenever, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't feel wrong. It could be something completely different. That this is just coincidence that all this stuff matches him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was made to look like a hate crime, because I kind of get that. I don't know if there was anything that was left there or written there or whatever to make it look like. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes there's messages in blood or whatever. I don't know, but it feels like something was done to make it kind of pull the attention off somehow.
Right.
My head's hurting again. I really feel like somehow someone got hit in the head or there's something with the head that I can't seem to let go of. For some reason it's brutal with all of them, like really bad brutal, like I talked about in the first reading. But for some reason with the two blondes, it feels more brutal. It's especially her. Like that's where his anger went.
Okay.
I keep getting a star. I don't know what the star is about either. I don't know if one of the girls liked a star, if there's a star somewhere. I don't really know. I don't really know what the star is about. I also hear the word school colors.
Okay.
Which I think are what, yellow and blue or golden blue or something like that.
Okay.
So that's interesting. I'm trying to get more, and I don't know that there's really much more they can give me at this point. They show me police sirens. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that he's gonna get arrested, or I'm not really sure what that's about. But I see red and blue. I see red and blue police sirens. But my concern is
it because he could see them where he's at?
Maybe.
Sorry, I know you don't want questions, but that's what popped in my head.
Yeah, it could be. It's weird. I just keep seeing like red and blue lights, like red and blue police siren, like police lights. And I'm not really sure. I also get the month of May, so that might be birthday, anniversary, passing, something specific related to one of these girls or someone connected to them. I don't know if these. It's kind of weird. Like, I get beer pong and I also get like board games, but like Pictionary. So I don't know if those are things that they like to do or whatever. The girls feel like really popular.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Everybody in that house does. So I don't know if they have parties or sometimes or just like a lot of people in and out kind of thing. Friends over or whatever. But it feels like they, had little activities in there, little like parties and get-togethers and things like that. Like obviously, like college kids. Obviously, I understand it's obvious, but
Oh, you got it, because they're known as the party house.
Oh, okay. And that's why I think it's they've probably had so many people in and out that like know the house that it's kind of I just get that feeling like I did that whole first reading. He just feels so close to where they are.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I feel like wherever he's at, he can see their house or see what's going on. Because I see him like peeking out of the window or peeking out of blinds. I feel like, again, like he could possibly, there's a reference again to like fake profiles or something like that. But as far as his, it feels like it's non-existent all of a sudden. Or something changed with his online stuff. I still get a reference to, and I don't know if this is symbolic, but this came in the first reading, like the posters and stuff. So I don't know what kind of posters they are. I get like, for some reason, I get like heavy metal music or like that kind of music comes in. But then, I don't know if this person would have posters on their wall. That's something you do as a college kid. I don't know. It might be symbolic to tell me he's young, younger college kid.
Yeah, could be.
I don't really know. I mean, I don't know if he actually does have it, I don't know. My stomach is hurting and my warm blanket went off my birds. I don't know. Those police lights are going to bug me now because I don't really know what they mean. But I think even like if they figure out who did this and there's an arrest, like it'll be done really quietly.
Yeah.
The unaliving himself. But at the same time, I don't know. He's pretty much a narcissist, arrogant person.
Yeah.
That thinks he's going to get away with it. So only if like he thinks he might go to jail forever, I would worry about that.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something like I keep getting like 45 and then 47. I don't know. I don't know the significance of those numbers.
Okay, we'll hold on to it. Could be part of an address or something.
Yeah, or like the numbers on a door or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like I said originally, I got 45 and I thought it was a age, and so that's why I kind of thought that's what they were giving me. But it's weird because like when I first saw him, like I saw him with a hoodie up and stuff, and so I think that's another reason he looked older with the hoodie and everything on. And
Yeah.
again, I don't know if that's the same person or I'm just getting the information that surrounded the night. You know what I mean? Like I don't know
Right.
if it's connected or not. I just know what I saw, but I don't know if it's connected to this specifically or it's just something that is surrounding the case and happened that night, because I will get stuff that happens and surrounds the case and not be involved, you know.
Right.
Like the knife is big, and I said that before we knew any of that. It just feels like this feels like overkill.
Yes. Yes.
Very much, very much an overkill. Like he didn't need to overkill.
Oh, for sure.
But I get like that again, that slasher, or like I like horror movies. I like serial killers, like that kind of feeling around him. And I don't know if that's a dark side that people don't really know. And I just, I can't